maintenance on your equipment is as a major priority. You just can't be, 20 miles up in there with nobody around and have a breakdown. So, time to clean the clutches on the snowmobile. Anybody remember where we parked? Alright, I don't have a tripod, so I'm going to have to set this down and see what's under that pile. I knew it was there somewhere. I'll just keep on going. Whew, it's getting cold. Wind is coming up. That's a pile of snow. Alright, well, no point in getting lazy. Let's carry on. There it is. Actually, the hardest part about doing maintenance here is finding the machine you want to work on and then digging it out. Whew. Right. Positive to positive. Reach. I don't know if it's catching or not. Is it? Yep. I cleaned these connections real good so that it would give me a good contact. And we'll see how it goes. These wires are so stiff when they're frozen like this. I guess at this well, it's only minus 30 today, but still cold enough that, plastic and rubber and all that stuff is a petroleum-based product, so it gets pretty thick. Now, turn the gas. Yep, got it turned on. Lift the kill switch. Please, baby. Turn the choke on. Woohoo! Oops. Come on, baby. Was a whole lot easier than I thought. She's a good old girl, this machine. This is a 1991, and I'll tell you why I use this. There's no electronics, there's no sensors, there's 2 carburetors, they're Mikunis, they've been around forever, they're totally reliable. No fuel injection, none of that crap. This thing just runs, and when I go up the rivers and up the lakes and across through the bush, I don't want fancy. I don't care if it's got 50 different buttons and lights, but I do want to get it to come bringing me home, for sure. And this old girl has never let me down. This video is not intended as a step-by-step instruction on maintenance or clutch repair or cleaning. Specifically, it's just a reminder that in order for us to get maximum performance from any of our equipment, whether it's snowmobiles, chainsaws, four-wheelers, boats, and outboards, regular routine maintenance is essential, and that's the only way you can ensure a high level of reliability on all those pieces of equipment to be there when you need them. When you're taking these apart, what you're going to do is you're going to mark with I'm going to use a little file on here because when I'm cleaning it I don't want to wash off my my mark, but there's also an X right here. I don't know if it has anything to do with marking it, but if I mark it on the same spot here with a little file scratch, then I'll be in the same spot. These are balanced and they're not a big diameter, so it doesn't really matter too much, but you want to get it right. Don't lose your little washers. Keep everything nice and tidy. Alright, let's mark that first. So there's an X on the top. So I'm just going to mark a little mark right there, and that's where it goes. So the X on this piece lines up with the marks on that one. Really ought to be using there's a piece that goes, a compressing bar which goes through there because there's a lot of spring tension in here. So this is one of those things where do as I say, not as I do. All right. Whoops, I won't lose my little washer. Now, this has, I'll show you here, has this little X on it. You can't really see it. And I've put the little mark there. Spring, boy, what a mess, eh? Look at this, it's filthy. This bushing in here, this is where you start inspecting everything. This bushing in here is, look at that. Let me take a clean finger, watch. That's the stuff that builds up inside, and it'll bung up your clutch, and it causes everything to wear super fast. So that's where you should be, really should be doing this every year. And I know I don't either, but I should be. Now, there's mark this as well. Let's mark this one as well. I'm going to mark it with a little file mark again because, again, when I clean this all off with solvent, I don't want it to, and you don't want to mark it too deep, you don't want to weaken it, just, I don't know if you can see that, but I put a little X there as well. Okay, I'll just, I want to check your, this weights here, and if this one here, you can see it's all brown. Here, let me get out of the light. See all that brown on there? Got to clean that stuff off. That's just oil and whatever. And being a petroleum product, it turns into a bit of a resin, and it just makes a mess, and then it doesn't move freely, and that's why we're doing this. Okay, this brass bushing in here has, it's not really pitted, but it's showing some signs of a little bit of wear. Now I've taken some super fine 2000 grit wet sandpaper and just kind of buffed it a bit. And I really should, you know, you can buy kits for these things, and I really should get a kit for this and replace all the bushings and so on in it. But I think what I'm going to do right now, I need to get it back together. I'm in a bit of a time crunch here, a little bit, and I have to go over 100 kilometers, or over 100 miles, I mean, about 150 or 60 kilometers to get a kit, and I'd probably have to order it and wait for it to come in. So I think what I'm going to do right now is just get it back together. I'll be finishing cleaning the rest of it. I'm using brake clean. That seems to work really good. You don't want to use anything that leaves a residue, you know, a greasy residue, so I wouldn't use gasoline or anything like that. Brake clean evaporates, does a good job. One of the advantages of having a shop is that you can blast things clean and dry with air pressure, and use impact guns and air ratchets and all sorts of things that make life a little easier. And believe me, it's well worth having. Okay, well, I want to thank you for joining me for this. Sort of an impromptu. This wasn't really what I planned for this week, but you know, when you live far away from anywhere that you can get help, you learn how to just do basic maintenance on everything. And I'm not suggesting that everybody out there, you know, should go and become a licensed mechanic or learn how to do automatic transmissions or any of the big stuff. But there's no reason why anybody can't learn to just maintain their own machines. This machine is 29 years old, and I take it many miles up into the bush, often, most of the time by myself, no cell phone service, and touch wood, it's never let me down. And one of the reasons is, first off, it's a very simple machine. It's just an air-cooled, carbureted 2-cylinder. There's not a lot to go wrong with it. No fuel injection, no electronics, none of that stuff. That's why I like the old machines. And the other thing is I just take care of it. And that's probably as big a trick as anything. So everybody have a great week, and we'll see you on down the trail. Thank you for joining me today. If this was interesting or entertaining for you, or if you know anybody else that might be interested in something like this, I would appreciate it very much if you either like, share, and subscribe. And everybody have a great week, and we'll see you all the next time.